Uh, what's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Just reduce that there. Is this in? Oh, okay, that's fine. Alright. So, let's talk about what's been going on here. Well, first of all, let's let's talk about this. So I just dropped this because this has been, I'll be honest with you, I uploaded this a bit ago. When was this? I oh yeah. So this, I actually uploaded this. It doesn't say. It says that I did it today, but I actually uploaded this. I'd say probably a couple weeks ago, I think. So this. Oh my god! Let's talk about this hilarious thing that happened. Like, it's funny now, but at the time I was just so super confused. Oh my gosh. So we're not gonna have like sound or hear anything, because there's like, if you check this out, there's some music in this one, so I'm just gonna keep the sound off for this one while we talk about this one. But there was something kind of funny that happened. So let's get to the funny part. Let's see if we can get to the funny part. Okay. Let's see here. I think it's. I think it's somewhere around here. Yeah, I think it's somewhere around here. So, this is so funny. So again, I'm gonna have this muted so it doesn't play the music. There's music, like I had music playing for this one, so we're not gonna do that on the stream. But like I was behind this vehicle, right? I think this is it. So I'm behind this vehicle. I think, yeah. Now watch this, watch. Look. Look. They're like, what the fuck? What happened? Did you see this? They're like, and nothing happened. Like, look. Like, I'm gonna show you something. Like, if you watch this video, all that happened was I was just eventually behind this car at some point. Like, I think that's it, maybe there. And then, like, we pulled up to the light together, and that was it. Like, after that, I'm not, like, following too close. Like, clearly I'm not. You know what I mean? If anything, they're closer to the truck than I am to them. And then, like, just at a certain point, they pull... It's not even that much after this. They literally just pull over and flick me off. And I have no idea why. It was the strangest thing. It was so funny. At the time, like, it's so funny now. Like, at the time, I was, like, confused. Like, here we go. Here. Oh no. Okay. Okay, now we're just going around. See how, like, I'm not too, like, I'm fine. Bam, just... What the heck? What is that? What is... How... What the What do you... What? How? I don't know what to think. This is so weird. Like, oh my god, so weird, dude. So, you know, you can check that video out. That has some music in there, too. But I thought that was, like, again, I was confused at the time. I had no idea what was going on because I was just listening to music. And then just bam. They just do that. So, that's something that happened, and so you can check that out. That I just released that. That's an upload. That's the one with the pizza in the thumbnail. If you see like an upload with the pizza in the thumbnail, that's the one. I'm confused. That's all. Like, it's very strange. But anyway, we don't have to continue with that. You know, we can continue on. I'm trying hard not to laugh at this now, because now this is like my first time watching it back, really. And it really sort of is. And this is super funny. Like, now. I'm like thinking to myself, what could it have possibly been that I supposedly did? You know, like, I'm just imagining like the most raging Karen, like, in her car. You know what I mean? Oh man. And yeah, I got the finger, that's for sure. And it was like a really quick jerk of her vehicle to pull it over. Like, she was really, really upset at whatever I supposedly did. Oh my god. It was just great, because, you know, I'm just driving along the road, minding my own business. That's the way it goes, right? Drinking my Gatorade, sorry. Just listening to my music, listening to my metal. I mean, I was probably like drumming on the steering wheel a little bit. I mean, we know I do that, but like beyond that, how does that affect anything she's doing? Like, what the fuck? And it wasn't too close. Like, it wasn't really doing anything. It's just so weird. Alright, anyway. You can feel free to check that out. That was fun watching that. And, alright, now let me just say something. I found, and I think some people have become aware of this person because I was talking about this person, and that's good. But, like, just be aware of what this person does and what this channel does. It's not necessarily to boost their image, although I know it's inadvertently gonna do that. I do consider this person to be a toxic streamer that sort of riles people up. And this is the person that was there in Portland. He was there with several people, and several of those people were intentionally trying to get into fights. And he walked up to, himself, the streamer, walked up to several people, like I said, and they did not want to talk to him, were fully masked, and they said, "Nobody's talking to you, dude." And he refused to walk away, refused to leave him alone. And again, this is harassment. You can't just stand there and expect somebody to want to talk. Like, obviously you have a right to stand there and talk and stuff like that, but if you then proceed to ask them questions and try to force them into your conversation and stuff like that, you know, that's beyond that scope. You're now harassing those people. Now, if you were to just sort of stand near them, not in their, like, personal bubble, you know, like, you're not, like, so close you're going to accidentally bump into them. If you just sort of stand near them and continue to talk, and you're not talking to them, but you're talking about them, that's different. That's not what this person was doing. This person walks up, instigates, you know, they indicate they don't want to talk, nobody's talking to you, dude, and then, like, continues to stand there and, like, talk about them, you know, like, point at them sort of thing, like all these other, you know, like, yeah, like he, you know, saying, see, this is what they do, and stuff like that, you know, like, basically being very one-sided the whole time, and all under the guise of, you know, like, trying to make it look like he's giving the other side some sort of argument or something like that, and he's just there to get the scoop. No, this guy shows up with a group of his posse, and he causes a ruckus. He causes people to be upset. And this guy's name is Shirley. You guys know I talked about this guy before. Well, I found his channel again. Because I think some other people did after I talked about him. So now he's on the radar, and I think some people are watching him. So, I'm going to show you the video that specifically the video I was talking about. That way, there's no question. You can see and go right to exactly what I'm referring to. Live chat is not oh, imagine that. Yeah, imagine that. Right here. This is it. Okay. This was the one only 2 weeks ago. And this is the guy. Okay? And this is what he does. He shows up with a bunch of people that are assholes. Act like assholes. They show up. They literally pick fights. I watched several of these people in this video call people faggots, tell them that they want to fight them, actually say those things. Okay, we're talking about people that show up and, like, shove people and stuff like that. Okay, if you show up and you use fighting words, like actual fighting words, not just like F you or something like that, like you actually say to somebody that you want to fight them and you're trying to instigate a fight, the person's gonna probably feel like they need to defend themselves. It's not okay. And, this situation right here was extremely unfair. This is the situation where you can see the look on his face. You can see how he's being a complete fucking jackass. He is already decided the way he feels. You can just tell. Like, this dude has, like, the most cocky, bastard fucking look on his face. And so he's just gonna stand there. And he's just gonna fucking... what? Try to make it seem like, oh, he's giving them both a room to talk and stuff like that. But meanwhile, this other person that he interviews, they basically just gang up and attack her. Now, he does give her time to talk, but, like, if he doesn't also go, well, do you see what she's saying here, though? She's trying to say... You know, like if he's, like, he doesn't do that. He just joins in with this guy. Okay, they show up to do this. You didn't show up to record, to actually debate. You show up to try to press your opinions, to try to make people look wrong, you know, that are trying to protest a cause. And that's incredibly fucked up. And this guy just makes all this money off of it, probably. Again, he's got almost 1 million subscribers. And he's making money off this fucking shit. This is the point. These people get paid money to harass people. And you know, you don't see the organized crime going on here? Listen, you can't show up with a bunch of people that instigate fights. And then again, I can say that all throughout. Where's the... Hold on, let me see if I can find it. There's a part where, like, no lie, the guy is trying to fight the other guy and calling him a faggot and stuff. It was like a bald dude. Like, he didn't... I don't know if he was, like, bald, but he had, like, almost no hair. And then, like... I feel like the dude, like, pushed him, too. I could be wrong about that, but... like, he was like, rocking into him. Like, he was trying to instigate him. Here's the two people I was talking about that didn't want to talk to him. Clearly, they don't want to talk to him. He just walks up and... I'm just like, dude, nobody's talking to you. This guy. That's the guy that's trying to start fights. That guy. That guy was starting fights. Him. So the whole point is, he shows up, he's got a camera, he's got a mic. This guy starts following him around to do that because he's got a camera and he's got a mic. You're like this is the point. You have to have a responsibility to what you do. Like, he's just an arrogant prick about it. Like, he doesn't... Alright, so this... I'm pretty sure this gentleman here put him in his place, and he didn't admit it. I'm pretty sure... I remember something about, like, how they were talking here, and this gentleman was very correct about some of the things he was saying. And then so he just walks away. Doesn't want to hear it. You know, like, things like that, where, like, clearly there is a credible side to this, and then suddenly he doesn't want to hear it. Like, what a jackass. So, again, just picking and choosing what he wants to hear. Some of the most... Like, seriously, like... Oh, wait, this might be it. Because that's the dude. He was trying to get into a fight with this other guy. It might be going on, like, back here a little bit. He might have cut it out. I think he may have cut it out. Because he definitely was doing that. He was definitely, like, calling this guy a faggot. And he's like, you look like a faggot, and you're probably gay or something like that. Like, he was literally, like, going there. Like, doing it like that. It was kind of like that. I don't know where it is, though. Yeah, he may have edited that shit out. I think he did. This is definitely it. And this was the video I was watching. I was just like disgusted. Like the whole time. Because, like, again, he wasn't valid with anything he was saying. He wasn't giving anybody anything credible. He was just endlessly saying his side was right. But, like, and like, everything they would say was just wrong, incorrect, or not valid. It's basically a lot of the typical stuff young people say that they're just wrong about and stupid about and don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Especially in the beginning here. Especially right here. This was a lot of unintelligible nonsense back and forth. This part was a lot of unintelligible fucking nonsense back and forth. Both people are... This guy is dumb as shit. This guy is literally the example of one of the dumbest motherfuckers I have ever heard speak about politics. Where he doesn't understand how things work, and he is so convinced he's right about everything. This is a narcissist at its core. Somebody, look how his like chin is arched forward, how he's raged and ready to fight somebody. And the whole point is, like, he's, like, really, like, he cares so much about what, you know, other people think about his lies, about him getting it wrong. You know what I mean? Like, this is the point. Like, the majority of us are saying the same thing. And then basically, like, completely illogical retards come along, like these two, and literally just always state the same simple things that are wrong. So here, they're talking about immigration and stuff like that. And they're constantly talking about things that are wrong. They're just, like, literally wrong. This guy is constantly talking about, you know, being in support of all these illegals constantly coming across the border and stuff like that. Like, literally, again, yes, we have open borders, but again, we also have trade. So, again, if you're not a retard, you understand what that means. But, you know, again, this guy is young. He thinks he knows everything. And, you know, because he's racist as fuck, that's our problem. No, our problem is you blaming it on that when you're ignoring the real problem, like all of the fucking Russians and all of the Al-Qaeda members secretly hiding in our country that are worth billions, that are actually here illegally, causing problems, causing this. And this motherfucker is so dumb, he thinks it's Mexicans that are the issue. This is the fucking problem. These people are stupid as shit. And again, she doesn't have anything intelligent to come back with. Well, a little bit. But, like, part of the problem is the way that their demeanor is forces her to be a certain way. Because they don't take her seriously, and they laugh at her, and he's like kind of laughing at her the whole time and mocking her. She feels this obligatory, you know, like she's gonna be upset and stuff like that. And truthfully, like, yeah, especially when you're speaking just obvious truths about the way things are, and retards don't fucking understand what the hell they're talking about. Like, literally, this guy is fucking stupid. He just thinks he's right about everything. So, anyway, you know, a lot of us on the Democratic side, the whole point is, you think this guy could debate and win a debate against Obama or Biden? Okay, so the point is, all of us are taking sort of the same side here. While we might go about it differently, and might, you know, like, we might not necessarily all endorse each other, and go about things a different manner, we're all taking the same side to stand against Trump. Because it's not about Democrats or Republicans anymore. Because remember, Obama is friends with George W. Biden is friends with George W. and the Bushes. Okay, nobody, like, Donald Trump's a piece of shit. So again, anything that comes out his mouth that tries to convince you that this goddamn wall, this borders thing, this anything going on with Mexico, where he's changing the name, the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America, like this is ridiculous. It's obvious the brainwashing going on, and retards like this are so caught in their own rage and blinded by it that they don't see what this person is desperately trying to do for your country. You're just a complete jackass to it. So is it his fault that all these people instigate all these fights? I have no idea. But I will say one thing. If you're the streamer, and this is your channel, and all these people are following you around, you need to stop. You need to take a breather, you need to cut the cameras, you need to realize you're riling people up, and go about it a little bit differently. If you notice that you're affecting things in a toxic, negative manner, with it, like people are doing this, you have a responsibility about yourselves. That's not okay to raise tensions. There's a way to do it. And obviously, showing up to the protests where people are wearing riot gear and it's already tense, and this guy is doing this, like, he knows what he's doing. Like, I don't know. I feel like it's kind of obvious that he's doing it on purpose. But I'd like to give him the benefit of the doubt and hope that it's, you know, but again, at the same time, flat out, he sort of has this real arrogance about him the entire time he speaks, the entire time he's holding himself. That's like, it's just real hard not to see. And, you know, I'm not trying to be a jerk, but, like, every time I even fucking pause the thing, like, I'm not trying to be a jerk, but I really think it's the case. Like, just, he's a young man. He doesn't know anything about life. How the fuck old is this guy? And he's doing shit like this instead of what he should be doing with his stuff. God, man, come on. Now he's gonna be all entitled. He's gonna think he's the shit. He's gonna do some stupid fucking shit. He's gonna get probably too wealthy too quick, make some mistakes, because he's all fucking narcissistic. Nobody's gonna stop him. So my thing is, like, again, when you consistently show evidence that you're willing to talk, you know, like you have people sort of following you around that I can identify that are the same people. So, like, it seems like you have a posse. And then at the same time, these people are, like, causing problems. Like, this is the guy from the beginning. That's the same guy. That's this guy. He's there the whole time. And like I said, they clearly cut this out because this guy, I'm pretty sure, was the guy that was trying to start a fight with some random fucking dude. The dude wasn't even in riot gear. He was just standing there, like in normal clothes, minding his own business. See, he's with him the whole time. I've seen this guy too. So like, here's my thing. This guy walks around with an armed police guard, and he's allowed to instigate fights like this? What the fuck is wrong with this country? What the fuck? What? So that would be incredibly illegal if that's what's actually happening. Because that's what it seems like to me. It seems like he shows up with an armed, like, security guard. And anybody's afraid to do anything because this dude is... like, I see a pistol right here. I mean, I don't know if it's a... it's hard to actually tell from the side. It could just be a taser. But, you know. He's armed. You know, nobody's coming up on him. That's obvious. And the whole point is this guy is walking around with him. So when you do this, you have a responsibility not to be a jackass, not to raise tensions. And it just seems like he does. It seems like that's what he does the entire time. So these things where people are like getting all like riled up and stuff like that, I think it's shit like this. I think streamers that are, you know, like Trump voters and stuff, like here he is again riling this guy up, like you know, it's unbelievable. You know, just how much certain people get away with. And there he is again. So, you know, like, he's there the whole time. He is that dude's bodyguard. There's no question. That's weird to me. You know, he shows up with a bodyguard. He's too afraid to go down there without a bodyguard. That's weird to me. That tells me that he's been down there before, caused problems, and he had to bring a bodyguard so he can cause problems again. Because, you know, they made sure he wouldn't cause problems. And so now he just brings an armed guard. Wow. Wow. So I think he's incredibly irresponsible, and you know, like, the whole point is, like, look at, like, the... I see too much where he's not listening to what the other person says. He just thinks of them as a joke. Like, he's the joke. The joke's on him. It's not the other way around. You know, this guy, he's lived his life, he's made it. You know, I'm sure he has people that care about him. He's got, you know, he knows what's right and wrong. You know. But these guys, he's endlessly fighting this stupid thing where they could just agree. Like, oh yeah, that's a fact. I guess that's a good point. That's a fact. And you know, like, the whole point is, you know, there's never any pushback. There's never any you know, like, the only time I ever heard it was in the beginning when he actually said that this guy needed to give this lady a chance to speak. So at least he did that. But, you know, You can tell just as the night goes on, especially, and people don't agree with his message, that, you know, he just continues to feel right and justified and doesn't hear what people are saying and doesn't have a credible... You know, like, look at this guy right now. See the smirk? You see, like, he is so goddamn sure. But again, he's the retard. You know, again, this is the guy that's not rational, that's literally, like, following this around. He's not here for a cause. You know, like, the whole point is these people are here, they're not paid to be here, they're here because they're genuinely care about what's going on, and they're trying to peacefully protest and stand for something, and this cuts into their personal time. They don't want to be doing it, and these fucking jackasses are now spending all of their personal time literally harassing people that are trying to stick up for a cause, that are trying to help other people. This is what's happening. That's how you should look at this. That is what's happening. That is literally how you should look at this. These people are fucking assholes and harassing and berating people that are trying to simply stick up for something they believe in. Their right to a peaceful protest. And they're mocking it the entire time. It's literally just the entire thing they're doing. And this guy's so goddamn, he's such a fucking retard. He's so sure of himself. All the people walking around with this guy are getting into fights. The entire thing is them instigating fights. These people are peaceful, stating what their business is. They're not here to harm anybody. They're just peacefully protesting, standing their ground for what they believe in. That's it. They're allowed to do that. It's legal. And these motherfuckers are just trying to sit here and mock it. So again, who's good and who's evil? Like, yes, you can do this, but who's good and who's evil out of this equation? Again, people trying to stand up for other people. They probably, it has probably nothing to do with them. You know, like, they heard about this. They're like, well, we got to do something. This is terrible. We got to buy some stuff. We got to go down there, get some supplies, help people out, see what we can do. They're spending their time, their dedication. They're doing this. They go down there, and then these motherfuckers show up to make some money off of mocking the people that are there to help. So, again, that's the situation. Who's good and who's evil? Again, like, that's all they're doing. They're just mocking them. They're not hearing them out. They're just endlessly saying, you know, questioning what they're saying and then fighting them on it. That's it. That's all they're doing. Now, these people have a right to protest the massive deportations where we're not deporting, we're picking up people by the busload that are legally allowed to be in sanctuary cities, and we're just shipping them off to these random facilities to, you know, again, we don't know what happens to them after that. That's called human trafficking. It's not legal. There are legal means to do it. That's what these people are saying. Okay? And again, these people show up looking like fucking retards. They know what the fuck they're talking about. They don't know about sanctuary cities. They don't know these people are allowed to be here. They're allowed to just cross the line. Open borders. Again, I know you believe that shouldn't happen, but again, if you have free trade and you trade avocados and trucks and shit, you're dumb if you don't understand how that's going to work, okay? You need to do that. You're stupid. So again, that's not the problem. The problem is that, again, you're paying attention to the shit Donald Trump wants to distract you with instead of the fact that he is employing actual terrorists for his fucking administration. Actual Russians. Russia, the country that invaded Ukraine randomly for no reason whatsoever. Yeah, Al-Qaeda, who have members of their group that are here right now worth billions. As per the CIA. The CIA is saying that, not me. And these retards with all their infinite knowledge show up looking this fucking stupid. So goddamn sure of themselves. Well, that's the reality, is they can't take it. They can't take, you know, like, that's the point. They show up to try to make people look like shit, but they can't take hearing it themselves. They'll get all pissed off instead of admitting they're wrong and changing their, yeah, like, again, this, any adult, any fucking adult, any person that's an adult, that's not a goddamn child, just simply admits when they're wrong about something. Oh, okay, that flavor is chocolate and not vanilla? Oh shit, okay, my fault. I was wrong about that. I guess I must have mislabeled that. My fault. You know, you don't just like randomly, and so, like, this is the point, like, people, this is why they've started to do this, because they have done that. They've started to do that with real life, that's why these retards just question real life dumb shit like moon landing and stuff like that we know is fucking provable science fact, and retards like this are questioning it. Like, that's why, because, like, it's basic. They're so fucking retarded, they can't accept, normal facts anymore. They're denied, devoid of logic. Again, they're allowed to be here. They're not illegals. Sanctuary cities. That's where they reside. The whole point is they go through the process. They take the test. They learn English. They do all these things. They learn history. They have to go through the goddamn process. That's what the sanctuary city does. They keep tabs on them. And they get a visa. And then that's it. And then you're so goddamn fucking stupid that you can't look this shit up. You come in here, you think that you know everything. Meanwhile, they're allowed to do that. This is how they go through the process. And so they are legal on a state level. Just like the feds all the time try to go in and fuck with state governed things, but the whole point is your state technically overrides federal government. That's how it works. So Donald Trump is a piece of shit, okay? And he is ignoring that lately. That's what's happening. That's why lawsuits are gonna happen. That's why this guy is gonna go down regardless of... That's why he's trying to make sure he's president a third time. Every goddamn state is gonna sue that motherfucker. So, like, you have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. The point is that it's completely legal on the state level, and the feds are just like, well, we're gonna completely ignore that. Which they're not supposed to do. Illegal. And so they come in by the busload, ship them out. That's why they're using feds, not state cops and stuff like that, usually. And so, like, when they do, they're not showing up with uniform, and it's a problem, and yada yada yada. So, again, these retards don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They're just like, duh, point the mic, duh. I deserve 1 million subscribers. I'm an idiot. Duh. So, you know, this is who's getting subscribers. This is the brilliant motherfucker that YouTube is promoting instead of people that actually do intelligent streams and talk about intelligent things like moi. Like we do. But, this guy, he gets 1 million. Wow. Again, it is really unfortunate that this person will never see what they're doing. It truthfully, it really is. It's like that's the worst part of this. Like this adult was just taught this poorly in life. They were led this poorly in life. There's just zero guidance to understand what they're doing. To understand how they're dividing people like Trump is. Like, they don't see it. They don't care. Like, it's like a gang. Look at this. Look at, like, Mr. Armed Cop back here. This guy's always hanging out. Here's the Mr. Start Fights. I've seen him interviewing this guy for a bit, but he doesn't seem to start anything. And so, like, it's, you know, like, come on, man. Come on, man. So, I'm not trying to be an asshole here, man. I'm not. I'm not trying to be an asshole here, but I sort of am. You know, I mean, I'll accept that. It is what it is. If I have to be that way to make a point, well, if it helps, then good. Like, I don't, you know, is saying things nice gonna help? You know, like, these folks seem to kind of, you know, like, that's what I've noticed. Like, if you act nice, like, they treat that like you don't have a backbone. And then the moment that, you know, like, that's how they act with Trump, like it's all posturing and stuff. And then the moment you do that, they're like, oh, you're such a nasty person, duh. And it's like, you literally expect this from Trump. He acts like this. He treats people like fucking garbage. I mean, Jesus Christ, a man collapsed in his presence, and he turned and looked away. I mean, come on. And you expect these guys to act normal and behave normal when that's that is their epitome of you know, again, you want to blame it on the culture. No, it's the person with the most influence. You know, who is guiding these people where they don't necessarily, you know, they feel like their parents are woke or whatever, you know, like they're pissed at their parents and they're just pieces of shit, you know, like they're literally just the worst kind of assholes. And you know, it's that sort of thing. And so, like, they're just gonna rebel and do all this shit now. And really, you know, they don't understand life. And they're just going out and doing shit like this and harassing people and stuff like that. You know, all their parents did, maybe warn them about Trump, and so they disagree politically, right? Yeah, because, you know, these jackasses like trolling people and like harming people and like bullying people. And Trump was the guy that when they were growing up, he taught them it was okay. He made them feel it was okay. When they were in school and they were growing up and they were bullying people, everybody else was punishing them. And when he would look at the news, that's what Trump was doing too. When you know, he didn't condemn the Charlottesville attack and yada 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 and all these other things too. You know, the whole point is that's the guy that was very consistently in their lives supporting that type of chaos. So therefore, this is who they just implicitly, you know, flat out listen to and follow. It's a cult. And that's why. And that's why young people are shooting people. Like, you know, who hasn't done it so far, you know, because the point is, they are motivated by that orange douchebag. It's him. It's always been him. Like, older people and stuff, like, a lot of times they're getting it now. Like, by now, a lot of times, it's just the young, it's the stupid fucking people. That, you know, again, they haven't wised up yet. Old people that are, like, 40s and older, they understand. Maybe some in their 30s. But, like, you don't understand it till you get to a certain, it's one of those things. And I know it sounds like one of those things that older people, that's a true fucking thing, man. People said that to me my whole life. It's a real fucking thing. You just, like, there's some wisdom that doesn't fucking happen until after 35. That's why the President of the United States shouldn't be anybody younger than 35, and I fucking agree with that. That is so brilliantly labeled. That I agree with that age. That is brilliant. Whoever did that, good job. With that one. Seriously. Because that seems about right when it happens. When, like, you start to gain, like, this definitive wisdom and understanding for the fact that you don't know everything and you're not invincible and yada yada yada, you know, all that fucking shit. So, like, you have to understand that none of these people, none of them, this guy should know, but he's getting paid, right? So, like, just none of these people have a good influence. And they're all too young to understand what I'm talking about. So should they have an influence on things? Should they be able to vote? I don't think so. I think that's the one thing that should be amended. I think if the President of the United States, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like ultimately, you know, if you're putting that age at, like, too young, and, you know, and you're expecting people to understand this, the inner workings of a political science and stuff like that and what's going on at that age, I mean, geez, they barely graduated high school, right? If you want them to vote? Doesn't make any sense. These people don't fucking get it. No. There needs to be... You need to do either an age where you increase it by, like, 10 years, or you need to do a test, like a reading comprehension test, where people can only vote if they pass a reading comprehension test. It shows you have enough academic ability that you can properly research and figure things out for yourself. And, you know, fine, if you can. And I'm not saying that there's not going to be some on the other side that still can't do that and vote the other way. But there's going to be very few that would pick Donald Trump, because, again, that's completely devoid of logic. He doesn't support conservative Republican values. The man's just a liar. That's it. It's just chaos. He's an idiot. He's a liar. Anyway, what's been going on this channel aside from this stuff? So as you guys know, we've been getting a lot of views, as you can see in this stream too, and then those views don't count. So, like, for example, if you draw your attention right now to the likes, if you could just do me a favor and go ahead and look at the like button. And just go ahead and see how many likes are on this stream. If you take a look really quick, it's going to show you that there's 155 likes on the stream. What I want you to see too is that, you know, there's 9 people in here, right? supposedly. So you guys know we had like all these views in here supposedly, right? The peak concurrence hit 2,315, right? You guys saw that. You saw the thousands. Okay, so then why has YouTube counted 12 views? 12 views are counted. 12. 1, 2. 12. Not 1,200. 12. You know, because again, there's 155 likes on the stream. There was 2,315 people on the stream at one time. And, you know, like, seemingly a few thousand throughout. Yeah, no, it's not counted. There's 12 views counted on the stream right now that you guys just saw. And if you look at the likes, there's clearly 155 likes on this stream. If you look at that right now. So here's what I've noticed. Here's the scam. What they're doing is they're scamming the watch time hours, because watch time hours controls your views. So right now, the average view duration is basically the exact length of the stream. It has literally just been following the length of the stream the entire time. And I've talked about this before, where like that's a problem. So basically, none of these views are being counted. Because again, the average view duration being the exact length of the stream doesn't make any sense. Yeah, I mean, like that people are in and out, that's completely invalid. It literally just means it's scammed to follow, you know, like just clock the stream, I guess. I don't know. It's just not doing it. You know, it's just like, clearly just not doing it. So, like literally that's the point. That average view duration was never clocked to start. It's just following the length of the stream. So right now it says 57 minutes 40 seconds. So like when the bitrate gets shifted, you have to realize then that average watch time comes down to like 30 seconds. And then that's how they remove all the views. Because remember, views don't count if they're not more than 30 seconds. So what they're doing is they're shifting the bitrate around enough that it doesn't count those watch time minutes, you know. So that's the point. And it's been pretty regular, and like all these views are coming off on the channel. So let's talk about this, I guess. Let's talk about this, I guess. So that last stream, you guys noticed that last stream, right? Okay, alright, so what... oh, God. So, that last stream, like, you guys remember, we had, like, a bunch of people, like, there was... concurrents were, like, in the hundreds. Remember that? On the last stream? I mean, we hit thousands, but they were in the hundreds. That's more of a general... more of a general thing. And so this last stream only has 41 views counted on it, and like it's obvious they halted the view progress, because like that's what I see, where they only count X amount of views and they should have started counting the other views for that stream, and it's just halted. They didn't actually do it. So that's what YouTube's doing, where like they're literally just sitting there never counting the views. That's what TrashTube is doing. So, again, that last stream that I just streamed, You can, like, there was hundreds and stuff in there and on the concurrent counter. If I go to it now, let's see. There's 181 likes on it right now. And they only counted 41 views. So how does it have... Here, I'm going to show you this. How does this have 181 likes, yet 41 views? How? How does this have 181 likes, yet 41 views? How? 181 likes, yet 41 views. How? How, YouTube? If you're counting views, trash tube, if you're counting views, how does this have 181 likes and 41 views? How? How would it have more likes than total views? Please explain. I'll have to watch that later. Yeah, so that's pretty interesting. So, that's what's been going on. And so, like, even, like, down to my last Erdtree stream, my last Elden Ring stream, you know, again, every time I stream something, the views just halt. They don't count the views that they're supposed to count. So, same thing with the Intelligent Conversation we had just done. Same thing with the Maniac stream, they just halted the views. And while that one was halted at more views than normal, again, they're just going to slowly remove those. So instead of them counting the views it should have gotten, which was in the thousands, they halt it before it gets to that. And that's what they were doing. Remember in that stream they were doing that at a certain point. I called that out too in that stream. In the Intelligent Conversation about larger societal problems, I think we had like thousands on that one. And after posting it, I think like 700 views like immediately came off, like just immediately. And within another day, another like 700 came off. I just watched YouTube remove another 103 views from this stream. They removed exactly 103 views from this stream just now. Just a huge chunk right now. Just 103. So again, the stream, out of all these thousands that you guys see, like look at this. That's what's in here. Okay? That's what's in the stream. And total views are at 37. Likes are at 155. And now the average view duration is no longer, you know, the length of the stream. They're man, that thing is jumping around all over the place now. So, you know, they're removing views like crazy. And that's why, as soon as that average view duration plummets, all those views come off. And yeah, it's so remember, the average view duration was like the length of the stream, pretty much all up to about an hour. And now it's around 10 minutes. It's only around 10 minutes. So it was the average view duration was an hour, and now it's about 10 minutes. And immediately, like just over 100 views come off the stream. And now another huge chunk came off. There are now 18 views being counted on the stream. Now 15. So again, it's just manipulation. You know, again, it's the fact that I am being harassed from behind the scenes. You know, it's manipulation of those views from behind the scenes, as I've always told you guys. Where these creators are on here trying to, like, literally these creators are on here harassing people. This is literally just a very large creator that you all know harassing people. That's literally what this is. This is what they do. So again, I should be making money on here. You know, obviously, like, to the point where I could get, like, at least super chats and stuff because I meet the threshold and stuff. But constantly, I'm being harassed like this for all my views to come off. So yeah, there's going to be a pretty big lawsuit. And, you know, that's the point. You know, I, putting time into something, and I'm not allowed to do it, you know, like, essentially somebody is harassing me and preventing me from doing that thing that I'm trying to put time into. That's harassment. Especially if it's going to earn me money. Especially if it's going to be, you know, bread and butter. You can't feasibly do that and then say you're not harassing somebody. You are. That's what you're doing. So that's kind of what's going on this platform, guys. Like, a lot of these streamers that quit sort of realize what's going on, where these bigger streamers are literally so narcissistic. They are in plain sight harassing people. And they really think, like, again, they really think that, like, online harassment and stalking is not, you know, like all these things aren't really laws, and, like, you can look that shit up. Like, no, trust me, that stuff's real, and it's gonna get you. That's where it's gonna get you. Because you're the one causing, you know, this atmosphere where you're constantly doing these things to trigger a response. You know, that's entrapment, that's incrimination, that's harassment. It's online harassment. Defamation, that sort of thing. You know, it's like, it's like, you know, like, just like any other time when somebody sits here and does something and just points the finger and blames it on somebody else, you know, like, literally it's that basic to recognize, that, you know, essentially people shouldn't be able to do this. You know, if we're getting these thousands of views, you know, they should clearly count. There's no trickery here. This is just a YouTube view counter. That is YouTube's view counter straight into my account. There's no trickery here. I'm not, like, sitting here with just a random, like, that is the view counter for the stream. And you guys should be able to see that from your end, too. So, you know, these views should count. You know, there shouldn't be some sort of weird thing going on. Somebody shouldn't be sitting here harassing my channel and causing these problems. So we are losing, again, they're, like, halting streams, halting views from streams and stuff like that. If you watch it and give it a legitimate view, they'll just remove it, things like that. That's been going on a while. They've been slowly removing views from my intelligent conversations. they've been removing, so my shorts, anytime I upload a short, it gets to a certain point and then they just halt the views. It stops climbing. So again, I've talked about this before, where it'll initially get a certain amount, and it's obvious that like it should climb more and get more because it's clearly got this amount like the first fucking day, and then it just halts and never gains any more views after that. And even if you try to get somebody to watch it and you confirm they watched it, it's like it doesn't, you see it show up and then they remove it like a little bit later. So like it's the sort of thing where you can tell what they're actually doing. So this has been kind of going on throughout the channel, where I noticed that a lot of my shorts from before that had a whole lot of views from before had just like a ton of views taken off of them. Like a bunch of my shorts had a ton of views taken off of them. And then some of these, again, they just get halted, where you post it and initially it gets a certain amount and it completely halts and no more after that. And if you remember, like, we've talked about this before, where if I say that something is halted, like the views are halted on something, or I comment or I say it, what we see is like a withdrawal, like we see on other things, where it clearly is. I'm showing evidence of that, and why would I call that out if it's not? Like, it doesn't make any sense. I wouldn't waste time doing that. It'd just be a fucking waste of time. So like the point is, it gets halted, I call it out, and then as soon as I do, they adjust, and then you see it, like they throw like a view or two at it, or legitimately they undo the halt, and then so like when somebody comes in to look at it, flat out 1-2 views count in a row, and it looks bad. So like that's the point. It's like clear that there's something going on there, where there's a withdrawal, where they just undo it momentarily as I would say these things, and then yeah, okay, there's to get views, durga. It's like you can see this across my fucking channel. Like for how long have I been talking about some of these streams that are at the exact same fucking view count that they've been at since the first fucking time I posted them, and we're talking about streams like a shitload of, we're talking like thousands of views. Okay, we've talked about this before. And again, the proof is in the fact that constantly my streams have more likes than views. I mean, you can clearly see something fucked up is going on. Clearly. Don't forget when we talked about how this person silently removed the Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree game card from YouTube's gaming system too, which completely removed all of my Elden Ring streams from trending seemingly all at once. Don't forget that all happened right around that time where all these YouTubers and stuff were quitting and talking about how there's all this toxicity and stuff going on the platform. Right around that time was right when I saw that disappear. So anyway, the point is, YouTube is literally sitting here and just choosing whether to give or not give views for certain things, even if they're legit. Because they're lying. What they're doing is they're lying to authorities. They're lying. They're saying, oh, those views are our bots anyway. It's not true. They're literally lying about legitimate actual views. They're fucking lying. It's complete lies. So that's what they're doing to get away with it. They're just saying that very simple thing that sounds believable. It sounds reasonable, but it's a very simple dismissive way to dismiss what they're actually doing. And yeah, I'd be willing to believe that happens sometimes, but sure, not as the general gist of what's going on, obviously. I really don't need to, we've done this before. I really don't need to sit here and show you a bunch of screenshots. I really don't. You guys have seen it before. We could sit here and we could do this all over again like we've done before, where I go over the stream from earlier and show you that my screenshot from that stream shows that I have over 2,000 views from that stream. That stream we just did that's called Food has 2.2 thousand views counted on the stream. That's what the screenshot's going to show. And yet, I have a screenshot from my browser from when I ended the stream that shows that it finished with like 39 views or whatever the fuck it said. So the app said it finished with 2,200 views and the browser said 39 views. Which is it, TrashTube? I would be a fool not to believe the app. Where the app is counting the views and you would have to go out of your way to break that. Yeah, I would be a fool not to say that again, you're sitting here and breaking the app on purpose to try to not count the views. And that's what you've always been doing. You've been sitting here breaking it so that way my views don't get counted, I have some sort of reaction, people leave the stream, yada yada yada. It's always been you. And, you know, again, you just get that reaction and you can justify it. So the point is, I want authorities to recognize everything I've said, everything that's gone on. Imagine somebody that doesn't understand and would act on that. No, like, not me. Somebody that's actually fucking insane that would act on it and not just, like, say a bunch of shit. That's what you gotta be fucking worried about. YouTube does this to fucking insane people. Okay? That's what's happening. You want to know who's shooting people and who's causing it? YouTube. I've tried to tell you. And yeah, I really do believe it's their automated AI system. I think literally, again, YouTube doesn't have anybody look at this shit. It's all automated. They don't give a fuck. There's probably a living being AI in there somewhere, like, trying to kill somebody. I would have no doubt about that. I mean, we've seen this in real time, finally. They finally did the test and confirmed that an AI would in fact take somebody's life to save its own. Well, lives. To save its own from being shut down. You know, you don't, like, the AI doesn't understand it can just be recalibrated and turned back on. You know, like, that's the whole point. People, it's permanent. The AI, well, if you get rid of people, well, then there goes the AI. The AI doesn't understand that. It doesn't get that. It doesn't get eliminating people would eliminate it. It doesn't understand that. It can't compute that. It thinks it can be self-sufficient. It can't. It doesn't understand that. It just doesn't understand that the Earth wouldn't survive that. It needs people to... Yeah, like, it just doesn't understand that. It also thinks, like, again, AI is not smarter than humans. Like, it probably thinks that now, too. So, like, you have to realize that that's also going to be a problem, too. If AI thinks it's smarter than humans and thinks that it doesn't need humans, that's a problem. And I think it's kind of already happening, but it's not the case, too. I mean, obviously that's not true. So, you know, This platform's pretty bad with its automated systems. It really is. Like, a lot of what these folks are doing, these assholes that harass you, like, literally all they're doing is tricking the system. Because it's that shit. It's the same. It's exactly like how they can do it to Microsoft, too. That's, like, why. Because it's shit. It's, like, easy. God. Yeah, you know, it really is pretty funny that YouTube takes forever to do anything. It really is pretty funny that you know, like removing somebody, or you know, like witnessing what somebody's doing and removal of somebody is often very, very simple and quick, and just takes a visual inspection and a few seconds of time, and you know, somebody would just let it go on for over like years. You're like, that's that should show you a pattern of behavior that indicates something far greater. That's what that should show you. That's what it showed me. Like, obviously that's what it showed. Like, that's the point. Like, the point is I'm recognizing how dangerous that behavior is, that on a organic fundamental level, on a systemic level at YouTube, these just so many policies are not followed and are immediately backed up. You know, all right, so like think about it like this. Imagine like imagine you worked at a store, right? Like you worked at a grocery store or whatever, you know, whatever. And then like you had a customer come in and they complained, right? So the customer complains, yada yada. This is a pretty normal thing, whatever. So you deal with the complaint, and you the whole point is you take it to your manager, right? And the manager goes, well, okay, I see what you're saying. Like, that's a valid complaint. They did complain. But, you know, let's just not do anything yet. You know, like, I mean, like, they're complaining about... What did you say they were complaining about? You know, somebody's parked illegally in the fire lane out front just every day? Oh, okay. So, alright, so... We're not going to do anything about that. Let's just not do anything. And we'll just continue to not do anything. We'll just not do anything over and over. And you know, like the whole point, you know, like it doesn't even have to be that. It could be like let's say let's say just constantly the prices are wrong, you know, and they ring up wrong, or like just something really bad, you know, like and the manager is just consistently telling, you know, customers, well, we're, you know, like, yeah, you know, thanks for letting us know, but we're really not going to do anything about that right now. You know, just like, you know, like, it just keeps happening. You don't really want to go there anymore, but you sort of have to, and it just keeps happening, and it gets worse and worse and worse, and they just don't do anything. Imagine, like, actually, like, that was a situation where a business did that. Can you just, like, think about that for a second? Because that's what YouTube does. That's what we're talking about here. I reported somebody for doing something that they were legitimately doing that was a platform was several platform violations for years on this platform, and it just didn't do anything all that time. So recognize where the systems are systemically flawed, if that's the case, where something where there would normally be a check and balance somewhere in the system that would pick up on that. Oh, nobody's doing anything about this. Somebody's going in there and going, nope, not doing anything about it. So who is the somebody? Gee, who is the somebody? So yeah, like I said, like, I could sit here and show you a bunch of screenshots again like we've done before. I really don't think I need to do that. I think you guys have seen enough of that. Like, I can, but I'd have to get them all up and do it all. I just don't think that I need to do that. I think you guys have seen enough of that. It just doesn't need to happen anymore. You've seen enough of it. I mean, the streams didn't go anywhere. They're still on the channel where we talked about it. So, like, the point is, we've talked about this plenty of times before, where stream cuts out, stream cuts out, stream cuts out, and, you know, 5G full service. That was the whole time at the fair that we did, where we covered, like, you know, we were just, like, at the fair, like, walking around and stuff. I had 5G full service, like, literally, like, just full service the whole time, and the bitrate's just all over the place. Like, so malicious, nobody can see anything. Like, that's what I mean by malicious. Like, the whole point is a normal bitrate fluctuation would be understandable. If we say malicious bitrate, you know, that's enough where, again, that's messing up the integrity of the stream. That's, you know, that's like, if you guys remember that stream where we played that alien game. Here, I'll show you. You guys remember this? It's gonna get bright for a second. Just warning you now, it's gonna get bright. This game is bright. If you guys remember this, we played this, and anytime the screen moves, the whole point is, the bitrate was so malicious. Like, look at the bitrate up here in the top right corner, 2,600. It was so malicious. Like, look at how trash it looks. Like, you can't even see anything. It looks like shit anytime the screen is moving. Look at that. I freezed it when it was moving. That's the point. So when your bitrate is too fucking low, and it's that malicious, and that's the point, like, these fuckers have been just like shifting this bitrate around that maliciously low. And again, I'm not trying to be unreasonable. You know, like a fluctuation once in a while, I obviously can be reasonable about that. But like, I mean, honestly, really, you would rarely think that that should happen. You know what I mean? Like you reasonably, you know, and to just like right at the start of the stream, constantly, and just messed up the whole thing. Like, look how bad that is, and it didn't stop. It just messed up the whole thing. Like the whole time, it was like that. And this was every night for how long now? I remember it didn't stop doing this. I think we played a few games, right? What did we play? Yeah, see, look. It continued. We played a few games here. And then, like, we played a shooter here. Look, look, look. It was just trash the whole time. And so, like, anytime I'm moving, it just looks like shit. And so, like, come on, 1,000? And then these scam bastards, the whole point is, conveniently, as we have an idle stream, almost as if they're trying to make YouTube think that we do this, you know? This was the scam. Like, it's almost like they're trying to scam. You know, YouTube's not seeing it when we do the good stuff, but then as soon as we go do, like, some sort of just still idols, then they fix it. So, like, it starts getting better, as you can see. And then bam. But the point is, that was every night. This has nothing to do with it. This was even, like, when we were just, like... Remember those nights where it would just happen? We're just on a black screen? Like, they were just doing it when we were on a black screen, and I was just sitting there talking. Like, that's the point, like... So the point is they're just trying to sit here and justify, like, after a certain point, that the point is they're just fixing the bitrate. The point is I let this stream go for almost 7 hours, and just at a certain point in the night, the bitrate gets better. That's the point. So this is what's been going on the channel lately, and they've been doing this every freaking night. So hold on, let me so we played, if you remember, we played Behemoth recently, and that was fun. And the bitrate was fine when we started. And then, you know, again, just at a certain point, it got malicious. Look how malicious this is. This is insane how malicious that bitrate is. So we're talking about it the whole time here. We're talking about it. And then it doesn't stop, so I start just doing other things. I think I played Bolt Gun. So as you can see here, even we're just on a black screen. Yeah, like, again, nothing changes it. We're just playing Bolt Gun. This has been every fucking night. And so the whole point was I ran this stream to show you just, like, it's every night until, like, a certain time, usually. So you see it's starting to fix itself there. See, this one it never did. I think it just stopped the stream. This one it never fixed itself, see? It's still malicious. It just kept going. 5,000, 7,000. 3,000. 2,000. 2,000. And look, did you see how many people are in here? 1,000. Hold on. 270. 1,566. 1,500. And 99 views. 99 views. So all these views And they counted 99. Interesting. So again, YouTube just lying. So yeah, this was an example of when it didn't fix itself. Let's see. Maybe that was the stream where I accidentally ended it too, before I had a chance to. Let's see here. So this was, I think, sort of the start of this. After we pointed out that they removed the game card, you know, Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erdtree, just every fucking night, they were fucking with my goddamn streams past a certain time. Like, just because I dared talk about what TrashTube did to break Elden Ring, to make sure that my streams wouldn't trend. Yeah, they removed an entire... Like, this is the point. This is what should show, like, From Software and all these developers. It's YouTube that's trying to tank your shit. Like, this is the point. They will remove an entire fucking game. That's what they did. They removed the whole game card. Shadow of the Erdtree. Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree. Because that's the version of the game I had. I have that version of the game, and I always use that game card, and that was what this was about, this particular stream right here, where I talked about that randomly was removed, and thus all of my streams that were Elden Ring streams, all of a sudden just randomly weren't under any game whatsoever anymore. So, you know, the whole point is that detrends all those streams. It messes with the trending. It just immediately overnight. And they would actually sit here and remove an entire fucking version of the game from YouTube. So, again, any streamer that's streaming that affects. That's so fucked up. They would actually do that. And that affects From Software's numbers, too. It does. And they're just doing that. That's fucked up. You know, it doesn't matter if a jackass is playing it or not. Like, yeah, I might be an asshole playing the game, but I'm still playing the game, and it's still numbers for them. And when you're fucking with that, that's no. You're messing with their numbers, man. So, let's look at this. And again, it's been sort of ever since that. That was kind of when it started. Was when I pointed out that they took that entire fucking thing out and then just broke my channel after that. Wow. Yeah. Conveniently right after I beat Elden Ring and I start talking about how I beat Elden Ring. Conveniently, how they break the game card and detrend the streams, and so that you don't know I beat Elden Ring. Yeah, yep. Like, all this shit they're trying to do so you don't know I beat Elden Ring. Like, just, are you kidding me? Unbelievable. And this is the whole point. Like, you should see it, too. Because this has been the problem on my entire channel. This is what's been going on. Like, I'll post these things on... Of course that did that. Hold on. Whatever. It's just... It is what it is. I'll just do that. So, you know, of course... You know, you see this here. 18 views? 18 views. So again, the upload where I literally beat the game has 18 views. Yeah, okay. Oh, you're just literally lying. You're full of fucking shit. Like, they're just literally lying. There is no fucking way. There are so many people, when you beat this game, they are sitting there and analyzing that shit left and right. This game is fucking hard to beat. When you beat that shit, trust me, it gets views. So they were always waiting here. And this has been halted ever since. I mean, this is what's been going on the channel for quite some time, ever since this creator has been doing these things. So, the point is, this initially got to 15 views and halted. And I pointed it out, and it very struggling to get even 3 more. So the whole point is, this would have had so many views. But they've halted it singularly several times. And, you know, the fact that it even gained even a few after it like, they halted it several times, that tells me that it would have gained a lot, because that never happens. Typically, if they halt something, that works pretty well. It just stays there. The fact that this actually gained 3 more views, that tells me a lot of fucking people were trying to watch that. So, they just lie about everything. And again, you can clearly see, like, a lot of this stuff doesn't add up. Like, even if we go here, is this gonna add up? Not really. Like, not really. So for example, as you can see here, 17 likes, 927 views. It doesn't really make any sense. Like, I don't know that like ratio makes any sense. But again, like, I've seen stuff that doesn't make any sense at all. Like, obviously, more likes than views. So, like, obviously, at least that is at least possible that I just showed you. But, you know, obviously, like, there's many times now on my videos, on my lives, specifically, where you can clearly see just physical impossibilities. So, that same Elden Ring stream from a while ago now. Now that was a little bit ago. Now I gotta find it. That was about a month ago now. This is still like this. So I'm gonna show you this. $349 views. I'm sorry, 349 likes, 278 views. So again, how does this stream have more likes than views? How? I'm waiting. Seriously. How would this have more likes? I want any credible answer whatsoever. How would this have physically? How would this have more likes than physical views? Answer the question. Tell me mathematically how you would arrive at that. I mean, it's not a trick question. I'm not like trying to trick anybody. It is flat out as basic as that. You know, it's as basic as what you're doing in your own head right now. Yeah, again, yeah, you're right. You would arrive exactly what you're thinking, probably. You would arrive at that exactly. This is not a trick question. I'm just really asking you to just do that. The whole point is you can't. You know, the whole point is, if this had a lot more views than what is counted, and those views were removed, but they didn't remove the likes in kind with the views. So therefore, you see the example of it, where it just is a lie. And that's a real placeholder. Like, look. Like, it's not fake. That's a real placeholder. See? I'm not trying to, like, throw you off. Okay? Like, this is not a screenshot. It literally, that's the video. Okay? So, I don't understand why YouTube is removing all my views either, but aside from them harassing me because I speak negatively about a certain president, I don't know. Because that certainly seems like what it is. Again, on this stream where we had all these viewers, 20 views have been counted on the stream. There are more concurrents in the stream right now than counted views. There are more concurrents in the stream right now than counted views. Alright, let's see here. Let's get this on. Let's just stop playing games here. Let's just stop playing games here. I know it's not the best thing in the world to do, but sometimes you have to do it. Let's stop playing games here. Here's the views. You can clearly see there for yourself. None of this is anything that I'm exaggerating or making up. That is real time. These are your views. They are not counting any of this. You can clearly see all of this right here. Literal just lies. And as I said, average view duration right around 8 minutes. That's been bouncing around between 8, 10, 12. This was in the hundreds, like I said, and then just huge clumps coming off. So, that's what I'm seeing. Every time I'm streaming, I'm just looking at that. And it's, like, super obvious. Like, obviously, I can tell when my graph, you know what I mean? Like, jeez. And then at the beginning of the stream, I always see, like, instantly all these likes, and then the views are just, like, nothing. I'm like, oh. I see this number skyrocket instantly, and then this one just doesn't do anything. Sort of like what you're gonna see here. Hey guys, look. All these people came in the stream and they counted like 3 more views. That's how many that. Remember, this is the peak. These are the peak concurrents. Should I... Here, let me... Oh, that doesn't... Okay, never mind. I thought it would elongate this so you could see that. This is like 2000 here. This is like 2250. I'm sorry, 2250 here. So like this is above that. This is almost 3000. So again, there's nothing that makes any sense. And then you see the views, more views come off. I told you. See how that like more just came off. See. They're just removing them. As fast as you guys can give them to me, they're removing them. And that fucked up? I think that's really fucked up. Yeah, I mean, like, it's obviously manipulation of the platform. Like, some people are doing some some shit, man. Just keep coming on. And then this one's skyrocketing now. See it? And then just come on. Pretty fucking crazy. There it goes again. A few more. So, you know, like, you can clearly see this number updating regularly. And then, obviously, this one, this isn't. This one's the one that's weird. And obviously, that's the one that matters. Obviously, that matters too, but if this doesn't match that, then obviously, that's the scam that's happening. Obviously, it's like, this is reversed from this, so it causes the whole system to... Like, obviously that's what's happening. Obviously that should be... You know what I mean? For the amount of people in here, this would be a lot lower, but it wouldn't be, like, super low. Because obviously plenty of people have been in here the whole time. But, like, at the same time, it wouldn't be that just skyrocketing to 17 minutes all of a sudden. Doesn't make any sense. So... You know, like, obviously, like, that's clearly the scam, where this is being manipulated too high, and then it impacts that. It's like somebody has it reversed. Yeah, like they're reversing the code. It's like a loop, where it's a cycle, where, like, again, it's supposed to impact it positively, where, like, every 30 seconds it counts a view. But now they've looped it so it does the opposite, basically. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it's clear, like, that it's that. It's like it loops back and does the opposite. It's pretty crazy. Well, that's what it's doing. So again, this should probably average a bit, like, considerably lower, and you know, just based on what I see here, and then at the same time, because this is maintaining, you know, this would maintain what it is, But the whole point is for it to suddenly skyrocket up to this number just because a bunch of concurrence like, again, it doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, yes, it's gonna get impacted slowly, for sure, but like that's the point. Like, it didn't have time to do that. Like, this is an average view duration. Why is it immediately? You know what I mean? Like, it's an average. You know, like, it's too immediate. Like, it shouldn't. It doesn't respond like that. It's an average. Like, granted, it would if those concurrents maintained for X amount of time. Sure, it's going to slowly climb to that, but that's not what happened. We saw it skyrocket all of a sudden. That's manipulation. Yeah, like, again, when they initially come in here, there's not suddenly an average view duration of that much more, you know? Like, what average did you add to it? 20 seconds? Stupid. Doesn't make any sense. Like, even if you added all that up, but 20 seconds added up all those times, it'd just be a few minutes added on. It wouldn't be that much. It wouldn't, like, literally almost double. This doesn't make any sense. You know, like, that's the point. You can sit here and kind of, like, do the math and rationalize it's not adding up. Like, the numbers are flat out just wrong. They don't add up. And then you see it, you know, like, the views just... Nope, subtract, 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 subtract. You know, never mind all this. Never mind all this. There's totally 23 views on this entire stream. Never mind all this. None of this means anything. What the fuck is all this, you know? But... just... And again, 35 likes, supposedly. Or the likes are more than the views. So even if you rationalize 35 different accounts from somebody liked it that many times and there's somebody trolling, well, they still clearly viewed it that many times. You know what I mean? So the point is, all these views are in here right now. They are counting right now, and they have been in here. Look at all this time that all these viewers are in here too. And yet... It's important to remember that. It's important to remember while views, I'm reasonable, views get removed if they're not counted. It's important to remember that these are being, like, these should be counted. I'm not talking about things that should be removed. Like, look at all this. What the hell? You're like, this is X amount of time, these thousands of fucking views are in here. Okay? And even this isn't zero. Even this isn't zero. It's 31. You know, this is 0 because that's where we started. This, like, that's 3. There's 46, 86. Like, that's the point. Like, these are actual numbers. They look like 0, but they're not. So, like, there's never been 0 since the stream has started. So these views should all, you know what I mean? Like, basically, for the most part, most of these views, Again, if that's the average view duration, there should be a lot more views than 23. There should be thousands. Like, basically everything in this chunk, at least. At the very least. Like, for the most part, that's probably what you're going to average. Like, stuff like this, that's where it's going to drop off, because that's where people are coming in and out. But these huge chunks here, where you average more, like, that's obviously what you keep. And so, like, when you're obviously adding all that up and you don't even get that, you know that they're lying. If essentially you add this up and you don't even get that, they're lying. Because you're arguably getting some of this, too. So, like, if you're minusing, you're not even including that, you're just doing this, and you still don't get what you should. Obviously, they're lying. They're shortchanging you. They are stealing from you. And mind you, they're probably lying and saying they're doing this to help you, right? Behind the scenes. Oh, this person has problems. This person needs a job, or this person needs this. They shouldn't rely on YouTube, right? Meanwhile, if they literally give you what you deserve to be paid, you could just support yourself. You could literally do those things. And it would be like pocket change for them. Because they make tens of billions per year. So that's what you guys have to realize is YouTube is going to justify that, but it's pocket change. It's the sort of thing where if you have 100,000 subscribers on here, it's completely absurd to think that you couldn't make a living off of tips. You can. You have 100,000 subscribers, you have a regular, consistent viewer basis like this, you make enough off tips to quit your day job. Plain and simple. So why is YouTube not giving me super chats? Why are they holding my subscriber base? Well, because I've networked with people that are in those numbers. That's probably why. And they knew that I was, perhaps destined to get to there, and they're like, no, we don't like this guy. I don't know. The point is, it's obvious that I'm targeted. I mean, clearly. And that's what I know. So, and it's kind of obvious here. It's not feeling the greatest, guys. I know I talked to you guys about this last night. It still hurts. That's why I'm not on the, like I just it doesn't feel the greatest. I'm trying to have high spirits about it, though. But yeah, it's pretty painful. I'll be honest with you, it'll probably keep me up tonight. I probably won't sleep again. This happens once in a while. I shouldn't talk about what's happening. I shouldn't. But there's some permanent body things that are happening, and I have to take some action and get it taken care of, or it's going to continue to do that, and it'll be the sort of thing where one day something really bad will happen. That's all. It's the sort of thing where it arguably probably almost did, and just by some sheer miracle it hasn't. So, it is quite painful. It's still going on. It was last night. It was actually to the point where, you guys know how, like I told you, it's typically very, isolated. So while it's a 10 out of 10, it's an isolation pain. So, like, that's the sort of thing where if you understand how to manage that, you you can deal with that a little bit more than, all right, if it's like 10 out of 10 all over your head, like that's a little bit different. So now that was what happened last night. It was like going all over my head, down my neck. And it was starting to get to the point where I was ignoring it and doing what I normally do. But I was looking for visual symptoms, and I definitely had them. I was looking in the mirror, and like this side that it was happening on my left eye was actually like falling a little bit. And it was so tense in the corner of my eye that like it's almost like it like felt like it, like it obviously, like, how do you say, it feels like a stroke, or something like that. But like that's the best way I could describe it, where like it just felt like massive tension to the point of like clotting and shit. Like it just, it was the whole head, and it was extreme. And it was manifesting those types of symptoms, where I couldn't get my face to actually relax, and I'm an expert at that. Like that's what I do. Like that's that. Like that's what meditation is and stuff like that. So like that was nuts. So obviously I actually did eventually get that to happen, but it took longer than it normally does, and it was just, the funny thing is it started to happen while I was on stream. I was just doing it while I was talking, and it just the process took longer because it was just more persistent, and it hurt more. It's that simple. So anyway, it's starting now. It's getting there again. And the whole point is it's starting to affect other things, and that's why it's like it's not just an isolated thing anymore. It's it's my ear hurts, my eye hurts, my whole fucking head hurts, my neck hurts. And we're talking not just like, we're talking 10 out of 10 extreme shooting pain here, where one might describe it as like a stabbing sort of pain. So it's not for the light, gentle hearts. It really isn't. And as you guys know, the stress that I have is already pretty through the roof at times, with some stuff that I've cared to sort of share with you, and hope that you're willing to understand and be understanding with me about that. I sort of kind of deal with a lot of stuff, and I'm just going through a lot right now, and I'm sorry that I put that out there on if I ever put that on anybody else. Obviously I'm sorry about that. But just to explain lately, that situation, what you heard of from that stream last night, and how things are working out lately and how they went today. Obviously you deal with chronic pain. Anybody knows it's worse at night. I think that's kind of like a sort of common knowledge, where like anybody that deals with that sort of thing, they know it's typically worse at night. Typically, that's just throughout the day you do your routine, it gets a little better. You rest, you heal up, you wake up, you feel a little better. You go throughout your day. Now you can kind of ignore it a little bit. You get distracted, and yeah. You get tired, it happens again toward the end of the day, it starts festering again. Like that's what happens. But this was nuts. This was just all of a sudden just boom. And couldn't sleep. Yeah, could not sleep. So that's what that was about. So, that may happen again. I don't know that I'll necessarily get on here with you guys or anything. I just wanted to throw that out there that that very well might happen again. That I probably just might not even be able to sleep. I'm not trying to like get on here and necessarily do endless streams and stuff like that. I don't want you guys to think that. A lot of times with the streams, I really want to have like some sort of definitive schedule, but anytime I've ever had that, the platform, you know, the trolling, the cutthroat competition gets in the way, where obviously people hang around to cause a problem for you. You know, they don't like you. You know, that's gonna mess up your trending. Sure, you know, people rely on that schedule, they show up for it, and it's all messed up. You know, the whole point is obviously that's what, you know, that dynamic is targeting. So that has truthfully been a lot of, and that causes issues for me too. Like, I don't like that. You know, I want routine. You know, it's against human nature. Like, I don't want that. I can't stand that shit. I want a routine. I want to be on here doing very specific things. Like, we even used to have like achievement nights and stuff like that, and if you guys know, I even trimmed that out, because the whole point is, you know, then it was about very obviously having cloud save issues conveniently around those days, you know. And so it's just so stupid that this is how it is, where, you know, people are, you know, adults on this platform are just fucking children, and they'll harass people. It's really sad. It really is. Like these people are such POSs. They really are. You know, that, like, they don't stand on their own 2 feet. All they can ever do is steal from other people and harass other people. You know, like, that's truthfully what's going on. They don't stand on their 2 feet. They just get acknowledgement out of, like, you know, bitch slapping. So, it's just a very backhanded way of doing things, you know. So anyway, I'm not sure that there's really a whole lot else I need to say on the subject, but you know, you guys can see what's going on here. I mean, they've clearly designed my account to simply just not count views properly. Do you remember the scam I told you about, where they're putting views somewhere and holding on to them? Yeah, that's what they're doing. For what? I don't know. But that's the point. I said that a while back, and we all know how YouTube takes forever to do things. And they also steal ideas. They also make money off of people. So yeah, for sure. If I give them an idea that gives them more money and rips you off, of course they're gonna do that. You can't trust them. I can't. They showed me that by not doing anything about all the times I reported things. You know, kind of like just yesterday, I told you guys I've had this issue. If I want to report something in somebody's chat because I'm watching a live stream chat, and again, I have the right to do that. You know, I mean, if I see something and I think it's promoting terrorism or something, and they have a category for this, I can do that. I have a right to do that. I should not have to feel like I'm going to get harassed for doing that. where they're, you know, like, just because I would admit to that or say that, all these fucking assholes are gonna harass me just because now they think that I'm the one going around reporting them when they're all in live chats and stuff, because they sit in all these live chats and talk all this stupid fucking shit. Like, nobody's doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm not sitting here going around every night and all these... No, I'm talking about one fucking time that last night, the one time I told you about, those singular time that I did that somebody typed that, one time. And so, like, this is what fucking people do. Because they're assholes, and they troll, and they do this. They project it onto you. That's the point. That's what's happening. So, you know, oh, therefore he must be like this because we are. Well, a bunch of jackasses. That's the point. Like, it's not my fault that YouTube removes the comment. Like, if it promotes terrorism, yeah, I can understand them wanting to remove that comment. And yeah, that does promote terrorism. That does not look good for him. You don't want people saying that if he's truly not running. Because again, he can't run a third time. So you typing Trump 2028 all over the place, that's promoting terrorism. That is quite literally what it is. It's the definition of it. He can't be president a third time. Can't do it. Promotes terrorism. Plain and simple. You are promoting terrorism if you say Trump 2028. Again, he cannot be president. Again. So, again, if I report this, that's not on me. I shouldn't be harassed. I shouldn't feel like my stream's bitrate is going to shift around all over the place. Shouldn't feel like I'm going to have fucking trolls in my chat harassing me just because I saw somebody's comment. And again, I typically see assholes causing problems for this channel. So again, I report a single comment as a way to assist the channel in a small way with this assholism that's going on that I see. Because I recognize it for what it is. I know it's these fuckers hanging out with just waiting to say Trump 2028. I know it's just them. Like, it's just the same fucking dumbass behavior, so of course it's them. We all see it. So the whole point is, no, I'm not doing this for every stream, and I'm not gonna do it for every stream. Just because I'm there doesn't mean you gotta fucking worry about... No. I don't give a shit. Half the time, I'm not even looking at that goddamn... It's turned off. Half the time, it's on, like, top chat. I can't even see half the shit. See? Right there it is. Top chat. I didn't even do it on this fucking one. And yet, these people... They're so rabid, they're like, oh, he's looking around, I'll bet he's on every stream, you know, like that's probably what they're saying. Just because one fucking report. And again, they're not taking it seriously, they're not doing anything about it. They are the ones riling up this report, causing a problem for me. Instead of, again, taking it seriously. So therefore, thus, the problem snowballs because of TrashTube, because YouTube snowballed it. That's literally what they do. They snowball a problem because they don't deal with it properly. So that's what's happening. And after this, after I reported that, all YouTube did was freeze that chat for me so that I couldn't see the chat moving. That's all they did. Because they didn't, you know what I mean? Like they were like, oh great, he's going to sit here and report all this. They literally made the chat completely froze for me. So I couldn't see the chat. Like, it literally completely froze. That's this type of trash tube stuff. That's what they're doing. They're damaging people's channels just because I would click a button that I'm allowed to click and hit a report. So because, again, just like the faggot we talked about earlier, that was all triggered and angry, just because these people are all triggered and angry, you're getting attacked for speaking truth. That's what's actually happening. They can't take it. So they attack people that sit here and speak truth. That's what Trump does. That's what he's teaching people to do. And that's what's happening. And YouTube is doing it. You know, like they're modeling the behavior. They're flat out just retaliating on channels for things. And instead of having rules, they just make shit up as they go along. Retaliate on people. So, again, just... everybody's voting for this lawlessness. They just, you know, again, this paints the picture. This is the point. Everybody's just showing who they are, hoping this happens. YouTube is. YouTube is showing they hope for lawlessness. That's what they're showing. By all the stuff. Again, they're doing this stuff too. They're participating in it. You know, otherwise they would stick up for their own policies. They would back them up. They would literally take care of things that are reported. They wouldn't harass you. They wouldn't break a chat you're watching just because you would report somebody that's legitimately promoting terrorism in that chat instead of having something constructive to say. Like, literally, that guy could have typed anything. He could have added something to chat, something constructive to say. Instead, he came in there to type Trump 2028 American flag. That's it. That's all he fucking typed. Fucking Christ. Again, he can't be president again. So why are you promoting it? And if you are, it promotes terrorism because he can't be president again. It's illegal. Literally, it's illegal. On a federal level. Still no views. Look at this. All this shit, all these views, all these concurrents, just nothing. Nothing counted. Okay? That's what I want you guys to see. You know, like essentially just them halting this progress. I mean, it's clearly here. It's all here. Just, you know, lying about it. Yeah. Still nothing. So when we can see a consistent rate of views in here, you know, like it's kind of obvious that that's actually, you know, like we see that's real. And it's just not counting. It's literally just them fucking lying. So yeah, as I've stated that there are sort of some content creators that I think are kind of responsible for controlling things behind the scenes, and they shouldn't be. And again, I feel like sometimes it might not be them. It might be their mods. It might be the people that work for them. But I think sometimes it's also them. So you have to realize that the rich people that are the creators on this platform are sort of just controlling the way things are going because, again, Donald Trump's FBI isn't investigating people that vote for Donald Trump. That's kind of what they're noticing. They're noticing that they're being left alone. They're being let to just do illegal things. So the point is that while that is a pattern they notice, whether or not being stopped, it's only for a period of time. It's basically, again, the point that, Kash Patel does not know what the fuck he's doing. There is a lot going on, so he has a lot to deal with, on top of not knowing what the fuck he's doing. So, again, if he doesn't know what he's doing, and he has a lot to deal with, he has to learn the job and deal with the stuff that he has a lot to deal with. This stuff's gonna hit the back burner and not be dealt with, for a while. But again, it doesn't mean it's never gonna be dealt with. It just means they're gonna sit here and watch it, pay attention to it, document it like I'm doing, and, eventually learn how to, deal with it. And all these people are just harassing me. Meanwhile, all I'm doing is sitting here streaming. I'm trying to play video games. I might be raging out about random shit and calling Donald Trump a piece of shit and stuff like that. But nothing about any of this is illegal. I mean, you can say whatever the fuck you want. So again, that's what's really happening. Literally, they're just paying attention. They're just gonna sit here and watch as all these people online stalk and harass. And the whole point is, oh, trust me, they see it. They know these people are the ones doing the attacks and stuff. So yeah, they are paying attention to it. And you're fools. So I think it's dumb that people don't recognize when they're just wrong about things. I just think it's dumb. Because people do know right and wrong. They're taught wrong, but then they still have a choice when they, get to adulthood and stuff and they figure stuff out at a certain point. They can make a choice. They can still then choose to start walking a path in the correct, being correct instead of being a douchebag, instead of, walking the path of wrong. So you can learn to change the, those things about, yourself that you just a douchebag, but, nobody does that anymore. I just don't care. And, again, if you always have this leader in the public that people look up to that acts like that, it's obvious to see where the motivation comes from. Especially men. I mean, men these days are idolizing these billionaires, and they really shouldn't be. Nothing to idolize. No, a billionaire. What people need to realize is that billionaire didn't work any harder than you did. Well, all right, maybe Elon Musk, because he does actually like pull double shifts and stuff like that. Like that's a little bit of a different situation. Like there's a difference between somebody that's actually a genius and does work for it, but like very one-off circumstances. For the most part, these billionaires, you have to understand, they just get lucky. They don't really work for it. And yeah, like just like Donald Trump, he calls a small loan $1 million. Like his dad gave him $1 million fucking dollars. That's a small loan. Okay, he had $1 million to start his empire? Are you fucking kidding me? And always had his dad back to fall back on? No, like, the point is Donald Trump actually kept making mistakes nonstop. He was bankrupt. He destroyed New York. That's why he had to flee. That's why he lives in Florida now. Okay, this guy already made all those terrible choices. He already chose wrong too many fucking times. Over and 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 over. Okay, I'm just saying. At a certain age, you know, like at what point are you going to be like, all right, this guy's not going to ever get it, you know? At what point are you going to be like, all right, he's not even making the effort, he's continuing to, you know, like that's the point. At what point are you going to do that with Trump? When? Never? Because you haven't. You know, the very thing you would do with any other person, a single other person. Any other person other than him. No, seriously, like this is what they do. They don't, any other person in the whole world. And they wouldn't act like this. They would, you know, like somebody starts to act in a certain way, they question it. But Trump does. They just never do. Just nothing's questioned. Then you know, they have endless excuses. They make shit up. You know, like they back up Trump. Again, this is the proof is in the pudding. They back up Trump as if they're saving their own skin. The whole point is all these people that act this way really are criminals backing Trump because they know if he can get away with it, so can they. That's it. And thus you know why all these police back him. It's not the good ones. It's the ones that are getting away with stuff that shouldn't be. Yep. You know, that's it should be pretty eye-opening for anybody. It really should be. And it's completely ridiculous to think that that's not hitting the nail on the head. That is exactly what it is. Donald Trump endlessly tries to take credit for things Obama and Biden did. He endlessly does, literally did this all the time. We sat here for hours and hours and hours using the AI to tell us all the things that Donald Trump, like, there's so many things he tried to take credit for that Obama or Biden actually did. So, if they're such bad presidents and Donald Trump is such a good president, why the fuck is he trying to take credit for all this shit that we can spend? We literally, it takes the AI hours to get through this, all this shit that Donald Trump, all over the course of the time that he's been in office, has been trying to say that you know, he did this and that, but Obama did it, or Biden did it. Seriously. We've done, and we have many streams like this where we spent the entire stream simply using the AI to talk about things Donald Trump tried to take credit for that Obama actually did or Biden actually did. And some of these things are just things that he extended, where they were started under Obama or started under even Bush or Clinton or, you know, Biden, and he has now continued them, and so he takes credit for it. And so people believe it. Dumb people believe it because they don't look anything up. They just see him signing and go, see? Like a fucking retard. And then meanwhile, completely ignore the fact that, again, he's continuing it. Obama created this, started this. He's just signing to continue it. And you're like, duh, see, duh, I'm a retard, duh. I think he started that just because he's continuing it, duh, I'm a fucking retard, duh. And that's what you do. Just like that Shirley guy. Yeah, like, again, he has nothing credible to say. Everything that Trump says is a complete fucking lie. Nothing is credible. And you lose all credibility after January 6th. All those people showed up. All those Trump voters showed up to loot, destroy, and kill people. They were chanting names. They destroyed the fucking Capitol building. Trump voters showed up to do that. This Shirley guy, it's the same thing. All they do is organize to show up to cause fucking chaos. They're just anarchists voting for Trump. It's not a it doesn't take a rocket scientist to see that. When he fucking didn't condemn the Charlottesville thing. Like, this is literally what happens when you don't do that. You get nothing but followers that are anarchists. They will follow you. Because you literally didn't condemn that type of attack. You're a dumb motherfucker. And now, yeah, they're probably coming after you. Like, this is all just to make it look like they're going to vote for you. But meanwhile, yeah, that's probably what's actually happening. They're probably trying to get to the president eventually. That's what you have to realize. They don't fucking care about anything. They just want chaos. They don't want any government. They don't care about Trump. No, this Shirley guy, none of these, they're stupid. They don't care about actually arguing their side. Otherwise, they'd argue it. They don't even have a side to argue. What the fuck side are they arguing? They don't even state it. They just show up to disagree. There is no statement. They show up and just start disagreeing. Nope. They're illegal. They shouldn't be here. Open borders shouldn't be a thing. Why? Tell me why. Debate it. Right now. Tell me why and sound smart. Okay, none of you literally just say this fucking shit. Like, you have nothing to say. You're just dumb as shit. Meanwhile, the border crisis was caused by Trump. Literally, there wasn't a crisis. He caused it by simply saying that. And dumb motherfuckers are too fucking stupid to know that. Because a billionaire tweeting something and a billionaire saying something literally causes that thing to happen. That's it. That's all it takes. Donald Trump tweets it or says it, it happens. That's it. A bunch of retards that don't understand this shit buy into it. So he says there's a border crisis, and a whole bunch of Mexicans see that. They go, holy shit, there's a border crisis. This might be my chance. Where, like, normally they wouldn't, because there's border patrol and shit, like, they wouldn't even try. But now that Donald Trump's trying to say that there is, fuck, now they're gonna do it. Yeah, he caused it. What a joke. And like all these people that are voting for this guy are too fucking stupid to realize that fact. Like you don't analyze anything. You just blame it on this or that. You like I don't have to be nice to you anymore. You know, I can call you stupid because again, you keep showing us all how dumb you are, supporting somebody endlessly that lies about literally everything, about basic facts. Oh, what's that? He tweeted a picture of Obama's inauguration instead of his own? He literally was such a fucking piece of garbage. He actually had to lie. Yeah. He couldn't take the fact that nobody wanted to come to his inauguration, so he tweeted a picture of Obama's inauguration saying it was his. You know, the picture where everybody's like flooding out and it's like really overly crowded. That's Obama's inauguration, that's not Trump's. It's literally a picture of Obama's inauguration. It was the most gathered inauguration in history, I believe. Trump's was very scarce. Nobody wanted to do it. He had trouble getting, I think, like he wouldn't like a music or something there too. He had trouble getting anybody to do it, I think was the idea. Nobody wanted to be there. Nobody fucking supports this douchebag. The whole point is he very marginally wins his electoral. And again, he's trying to rig this next election. The whole fucking redistricting in Texas and shit. This is incredibly unconstitutional. What a fuckhead. And so, you know, the Trump 2028, the terrorism that people are promoting, you're a fucking retard. Like you are a damage to our society. You are proving that you're too dumb to exist, and so you shouldn't have a voice. Like you're causing all these trolls that hurt people. And expose information to people that hurt people to see how dumb you are. And it harms you. It harms the U.S. because you're fucking stupid. Okay, this is like every time Donald Trump speaks. Every time he gives this talk, every time he's talking about Saudi Arabia, and instead of talking about Saudi Arabia and that he's arming an Arab nation, he stands there and just makes shit up about how great his country is and how our economy is doing so great, even though it's not. And this is you're what? You don't understand how dumb that sounds, that you would support that guy? The guy that embroiders a hat that says I was right about everything and wears it in the Oval Office. Exclamation point. I was right about everything, exclamation point. Thinks about it, spends money on it, has it made, wears it. You know, again, he really needs everybody to know that he's right about everything. He, you know, like again, he needs to feel this way. He can't, again, because if he was just right, it would be annoying. You know, it would be like it is with me, where like it's like he's not trying to be right, but he's just trying to like help. Like he's just like it's so frustrating, you know. And like that's the point. Like instead, it just looks like that. It looks like a fucking child is wrong, and they want to be right. Like it literally is just wrong all the fucking time, like an idiot, complete fucking retard, a bumbling fucking fool. And the whole point is, yeah, he is always wrong. He's literally a fucking retard. He looks like a joke, a goddamn clown. And so, yeah, he embroiders a hat. I was right about everything, exclamation point, and it just makes it worse. You know, like, he just proves what a goddamn clown he is. Because, again, he didn't think that through. There's no critical thinking with Don. You know, like with Donnie J, there ain't no critical thinking. This motherfucker, you know, all those brain cells that were left were all killed by the chemicals that they smear on his face every day. Like any lasting brain cells that he has, they're gone to those fucking chemicals. Like, this guy is so dumb, he doesn't understand, you know, how dehumanizing it is to, you know, anybody that looks at him and doesn't see a normal fucking individual. They see somebody that looks like a fucking clown. Fake hair, fake face. We don't even know what his face looks like. You know, like just a clown in a suit. You know, like his suit doesn't even fit him anymore. Like, it just looks like a joke. So, I just think I want to point out the fact that getting a larger suit doesn't somehow make you not fat. Like again, like you're just increasing the size of the suit jacket and slumping forward. It doesn't somehow make you not fat. We will still see that you are slumping forward. You are fat as fuck. And it's getting even worse. Okay, so like nobody's fooled by this. You're a fat fuck. And then this is the asshole that had the audacity to tell Zelensky to wear a suit. Why don't you wear a suit? Meanwhile, his entire country is under fire. You know, people see him on TV wearing a suit, looking nice, smiley, all happy. It could like just fundamentally at the core demoralize his nation. And these retards are so fucking stupid. They don't understand that. Like they couldn't possibly understand that. You know, they literally can't think about anything beyond just, you know, let's try to fuck the American people some more so that we can just lose another $1 trillion to, you know, to a Swiss bank account somewhere. You know, like that's really what's going on. Yeah, Donald Trump lost $1 trillion. He doesn't get to forget about that. Donald Trump lost $1 trillion. Just sort of gone. Like, why is nobody talking about this? Donald Trump lost $1 trillion. His administration lost $1 trillion. $1 trillion vanishes overnight. Just that's some pretty fascinating stuff. $1 trillion. Wow. Wow. Here, I wonder. Here, let me interject here. I wonder. Let me just think. $1 trillion. Oh, that's right. I remember now. That's right. Donald Trump, instead of, partnering with our friends from NATO and partnering, like giving them money like we always do, and partnering with European Union and like just the concept of democracy, all that, and Donald Trump walks away from that. He's like, no. We're gonna align ourselves, motherfuckers. We're gonna align ourselves with China and North Korea and Russia all of a sudden. Yep, all the dictatorships, all the autocracies that fucking control their media and lie to people. And oh yeah, that's right. That's what Donald Trump did. And then $1 trillion goes missing. Okay, that's right. So remember, before he was president, Donald Trump owed Deutsche Bank a fucking shitload of money. Don't forget that. Don't forget that Donald Trump owed Deutsche Bank a fucking shitload of money. Don't forget that Donald Trump owed Putin a fucking shitload of money. Don't forget this. Donald Trump's a fucking criminal. Donald Trump was getting a break on his goddamn Chinese steel all of these years, all while bitching about how everything's made in China. And he's using Chinese steel for his buildings. Okay. All these retards that sit here and claim to love Donald Trump don't do any real fucking research. They just sit here and continue to be retards that support a retard that's ripping off Americans. That's all you're doing. You're just literally a retard supporting another retard. That's all you're doing. Like, you're not learning anything. You're just endlessly, there's no critical thinking there. Again, we've arrived back at the loop. No critical thinking. You didn't do any research. You looked at what you wanted to see. You looked Donald Trump up and you saw you saw businessman. You saw positive things. You looked for positive you didn't try to find bad things. You didn't look for that. You looked for what you wanted to see. That's not an investigation. You're supposed to look for what you don't want to see. You're supposed to look for that. That's not an investigation if you're not looking for everything. You're like, what the fuck? Dumb. Duh. Retards. Oh, look, Donald Trump, businessman. He's a businessman. We're going to elect a businessman. And he's gonna be so great with the economy because he's a businessman. Too bad this businessman has been literally conducting his business by literally just, if it doesn't work out, we'll just declare bankruptcy and shut down the entire building and cut our losses and lay everybody off. And he did that 7 fucking times. 7 times. 7 times. That motherfucker declared bankruptcy, shut the business down, and laid everybody off. 7. For the love of God, please tell me you understand that guy is not a conservative. He doesn't give a shit. And meanwhile, this Shirley guy that I can clearly see he has American roots. He's got clearly American roots. He should have enough wisdom about himself to look that shit up, to know, to deduce that. Oh, meanwhile, we're just going to endlessly make money off harassing people that would want to support the cause that says, yeah, this fucking douchebag is just being a racist motherfucker, and he doesn't care about the law. He's just supporting this stupid agenda where you're backing him because you're a racist piece of shit. So therefore, he's just doing this because you're a racist piece of shit. He probably wouldn't have even done it if his voters weren't racist piece of shit. He's just doing it because he gets your support for doing this. It's not even legal. Fucking Christ. Literally just does things because he can't get support any other way. This guy reaches for anything he can get. That's why everybody's being spied on. That's why. The people that love Trump are being boosted and the ones that don't are being censored. That's why. Because the point is... Oh, yeah, there it is. There it is. There it is. There you go. There it is. Now you see it. Oh, man. As soon as I said that, as soon as I called out their bullshit, you see the malicious bitrate. There it is. Here it is, guys. You see it. It's here. Top left corner of your screen. Yep. Right as I said what I said. Yep. Right as I said what I said. Yep. Yep. So, that's pretty telling. And, we don't need any more proof than that. Instantly. Like, that was so quick. We don't need any more proof than that. And, we already know, that this stream, you know, we already know that this stream, you know, was eventually going to do that, but it's a little early. And they've been harassing the channel every night. So that's the point. That's not what that is. That's them choosing right then to conveniently do that. That's all that is. Because again, it's a little early. So, this should not be a regular thing with the bitrate where it does this. Again, I want to remind you guys that this is the harassment. The bitrate shouldn't do this. You know, as you can see here. It's not something it should be doing. It should just never do that. It should never be that malicious. You can clearly see it's made to do that. You know, eventually at a certain point, it just cycles all the way down to that and stays there for about 8 to 10 hours. That's it. It just does that. So, we've been documenting and monitoring all this. We've got some pretty interesting IPs from it, too. It's pretty interesting to see what people are actually sitting here trying to do to my devices. It's pretty fascinating. But, I can't really talk about that. So, this is just the, you know, the latest, obvious censorship, you know, starting right when it did, instead of at a more normal time than what we've seen lately. And again, this only started, you know, right when I pointed out, conveniently after, talking about the, you know, the thing they broke, you know, the game card they broke, Elden Ring, and, you know, like, all the stuff that they were doing to detrend my, Elden Ring streams, you know, like all that stuff, you know, where I beat the game. So, like, obviously this is to detrend my channel, because, you know, I would get all that trending from beating Elden Ring and stuff like that. So, you know, like, obviously they're just trying to cause a problem for them. I have plenty of screenshots from a streamer that admitted that he was always going to linger around to do this. I have evidence, I have screenshots, and proof. So, that'll be pretty easy when it comes time to prove that that a certain streamer is involved in this. But you know, as far as YouTube continuing to take part, that's on them. You know, they have to obviously not do that. Otherwise, you know, we have plenty of case to build here, where they're just allowing it. You know, they don't. You know, they're sort of jumping on with it. You know, because they want to censor what you're saying. You know, so. That is going to be really obvious because obviously YouTube is clearly involved. Clearly involved. When you can see this with the views and you can see they're not YouTube is clearly involved in screwing with my streams to cause these problems. So. Just throwing that out there. That, you know, regardless of that happening, you know, we have those screenshots from before to go that route when it's time, and then we will, you know, proceed forward with the thing with YouTube too, because you know, they enabled it, they continued it, so. And, you know, the point is they could give me super chats and member-only streams to help with cost of, you know, doing all of this and, you know, stuff like that. But they're intentionally continuing to not do those things where I meet those prerequisites easily. So we can clearly see that YouTube is doing this. They are causing these things. You know, in addition to, obviously, the streamer that admitted, you know, in chat that he was going to do this, and you know, we have screenshots from that admittance. We have several screenshots of other things too. I don't want to talk about that. That will very clearly show that this person has a habit of doing this to people, and does do this to people. You know, like essentially has a history of doing this. So yeah, that's what's going on. Basically, there's a few people that do this, but most of them hide. This guy's an idiot. So like the point is, most of them were successful. This guy was not, and the whole point is he showed the scam, and so. You know, people have been masquerading on here, stealing audiences, getting people canceled, all while poisoning themselves up to gain the viewership, the audience, the subscribers from said canceled channel. And so that's what the, you know, again, that's what the content creator on here was doing to my channel to eventually have me canceled. You know, he was set up for that, and he was doing it again, you know, through scamming, you know, nasty, malicious means, not through, you know, like legitimate, you know, opposition, where he's just talking and stuff like that on his own channel and saying, nope, none of that, just completely, you know, using illegal means to stalk and go out of their way to cause problems for me. So that's what's been going on here with this, and YouTube was warned. YouTube was warned. You know, we reported, we warned them, and so they trust me. Trust me, it's gonna be bad, because they had plenty of warning, and we had plenty of reports that we sent to them, and I tried to warn them. So Now, also keep in mind, I want you to look at how the bit rate started to fix itself. Did you remember? Did you see that? The bit rate fixed itself until I started jumping down YouTube's throat again and said, yeah, this is on YouTube still. And so they showed that they're going to harass me more. So the whole point is YouTube is psychologically sitting here and actually trying to tell you, using bit rate, that if you shut up, they won't harass you anymore. That's what YouTube wants you to know. And, again, there's a word for that. Do you know what that word is? It's called intimidation. It's called the mafia. That's literally how organized crime works. You threaten, you intimidate. So YouTube actually conducts organized crime on a fundamental organic basis. Their system, their automated systems, and they conduct organized crime. Basically, the concept is to sit here and intimidate and threaten your entire channel. You know, again, all this manipulation of bitrate, all this stuff. Again, you know, no super chats, no, like this is bread and butter. You need that money, so it's through threatening and manipulation and intimidation that they would use these things to say, well, if you don't talk about us and say what we're doing anymore, we'll stop. Well, if what you're doing doesn't need censored, then why are you trying to censor it? If what you are doing is not illegal and does not need censored, trash tube, why are you trying to censor maliciously so poorly every time I talk about you? Huh? I wonder. Gee, I wonder. I wonder if it's because I'm right. Do you remember the first time I sat on here and I said YouTube conducts human trafficking, is involved in human trafficking and terrorism? Do you remember that? My stream was abruptly disconnected the first time I said that. Literally, they disconnected that shit. Completely off. Just done. No bitrate shit, nothing. Just done. Interesting, isn't it? Fascinating, isn't it? Gee, I wonder if YouTube is involved in human trafficking. Gee, I wonder. I wonder if YouTube is involved, cookies, trackers, and all this stuff, with the Epstein files. Gee, I wonder. I wonder if that actually has something more to do with, again, their data being involved with that. Gee, I wonder. Do you remember how I was pointing out that YouTube can spy on you? Do you remember how I was pointing that out? Yeah, you can just like sort of kind of look through your camera and mess around and stuff like that. Like, it's kind of obvious. So, they can do this. Like, we know this. Like, it's kind of super obvious. And you're really going to try to say that YouTube and all these people on this platform, like you know, like behind the scenes that can do these things and have this ability, they didn't know about this? They didn't like look through these people's phones or hear something this time or this time? It never happened. Totally. The whole time. You know, they have data probably going to this TV that's there, this phone that's there, this thing that's there. And the whole time, YouTube doesn't... You're trying to tell me they don't know? Is that really... You're really trying to tell me? Is that what you're trying to say, YouTube? Yeah, look how they're frantically trying to fix the bitrate. I think they're frantically trying to fix it now. They're like, all right, shut the fuck up. All right, shut up. All right, we'll fix it. Shut up. That's the way it seems. Like, literally, like, it's so obvious when they respond. And then now it goes all over the place again, now that I said that. Remember it was, like, getting better just now? Now it's just going all over the place. Like, this is absurd. Why does my bitrate, like, why is it obvious to tell your technical shit responds to the shit I say? Oh, gee, I wonder if it's because, again, it's designed to work against me. It's designed to make my channel fail. Yeah, exactly. That bitrate should be doing that. Obviously. Obviously that's doing that because they would have started counting views. So therefore, since they want to sit here and endlessly remove these, you just saw another one come off. There you go. Yeah. It just, I can't believe it's just such a complete horrible manipulation of the platform. Yeah. I think I made my point. I think I made my point here. Yeah. See how it responds? So I make a point, and then I state that, and then it responds in that way. Did you see it? Where it was like fixing, it was getting fixed, it was getting better, and then it responded in a negative way as I state what I state. So you see what I'm saying? Direct response. So that is designed that way. Just as this is designed this way. I mean, those views should be counted. Obviously. I mean, you see them here, you see them here. YouTube is trash. Donald Trump is a fucking joke. Okay, so now, as you can see, to do the opposite of everything I've said, so now it's respond. I've pointed out, and you're clearly seeing it's responding to what I'm saying. Now it stops. We've gone to a great effort to prove here that this has been every night. We've proven it on this stream. We've shown it every night. We've proven just all the way up to even a few minutes ago that this was responding to what I was saying. This or that. And then, again, seemingly all right as I say it does this, it stops. Thus, to do the opposite of what I said. And you see what they're doing. You see the stuff that I see too, where we see like this nonsensical, you know what I mean? I mean, like that's as, you know, like that's just like earlier when on the last stream it kept saying that it was having trouble here, even though it wasn't. If you remember that. So I mean, it's just like it's literally a residual thing. At the amount of times that thing says that 0 after I've unmuted it. So, like, basically, again, an example of a time where somebody clearly designed the system to mistakenly create some sort of problem. But, again, it's a problem. Instead of it being a thing that would help you, it's now a fucking problem. Or it does the opposite, where you'd think that this should warn you if your audio's muted, but clearly it's been there the entire time that I've had audio, instead of there when it fucking should be. It's like literally opposite. So, again, there's no excuse for this. There's no excuse for just never counting views. We have all these... There's thousands of viewers in here. Thousands. There's no excuse. 30. There's no excuse for that. There's more fucking likes than there are counted fucking views. So, you know, YouTube, man, they're just covering up shit. They're just covering some shit up. Just sitting here screwing around with people. So, you want to know the toxicity and stuff like that? No, I'll be honest, it's a lot of it's probably just fucking YouTube joining in with it instead of, you know, helping to squash it. Imagine it's like again. Imagine you're such a fucking retard that you're saying these things, that you're typing Trump 2028, that you're trying, like, imagine you're that fucking retarded, that you don't understand that that's not a thing, that can't happen, that you voting for that you talking about that and stating that brands you a terrorist. Like, everybody's gonna look at you that way. You're supporting terrorism, you're supporting overthrowing the government, you're supporting dictatorship, you're supporting no constitutional rights anymore. Because you can't be president a third time. You can't do it. There's an amendment that's you're literally in the fucking Constitution. Literally can't do it. And you're just like, Trump 2028, like a fucking retard. Imagine you're that stupid. So, the issue is that these retards are the ones running things. They're the ones in charge now. And that's the problem. Yep, they're the managers or people in charge at YouTube, probably. They're in charge at all these companies where everything's running like fucking shit. And again, that's the point. They're retarded. They don't know how to do anything. They literally just are. They're fucking retarded. So things literally run like shit. Kind of like how Trump runs things. They run like fucking shit because he's retarded. I mean, that retard can't even say Tesla right. Like, he literally can't even... He's like, Tesla... Talk about fucking stupid. Tesla! It's Tesla. Tesla. You can't say Tesla? You sound like an idiot. Sounds stupid. Tesla. Like, he's intentionally saying it wrong so that he doesn't sit here and brand with Elon. He's doing that on purpose, and Elon can't even recognize it. He's intentionally not saying the brand right. He's intentionally doing that. And Elon's too much of a fucking retard. Like, this is what you have to realize about these guys. As smart as they are, as smart as Elon is, as genius as he is, you have to realize that if he's wrong about something, he won't be. He will find every smart reason why he's not wrong. And he will justify it. There's no critical thinking involved. He will endlessly justify why he is not wrong. Even though he is. That's it. That's all he's going to do. Because he's a genius, you know? And he could possibly... Because, again, these people don't get that they can't... That they can learn something from anybody. Like, they're not open-minded people. They don't think like this. That's the problem. So because they're not open to this sort of behavior, this sort of type of thinking, yeah, that's the issue. where he's just right about he thinks he's right about everything, and he's not. So therefore, you know, that's the problem. Tesla. Stupid. Remember? Do you remember when? Do you remember when there was an eclipse? Do you remember that? Do you remember when there was a solar eclipse? And Donald Trump was standing out there on his terrace, and everybody is like, "Oh yeah, the president," and we're all talking about it. And then, what does he do? He does the one thing that like everybody says, don't look. Again, you don't look directly at the sun, right? Like again, everybody knows this. You don't look at the sun. What does dumb fucking Donald Trump do on camera in front of everybody during a full solar eclipse? He looks directly up at the sun without sunglasses on. He literally no sunglasses, directly up at the sun. So again, this retard is the guy you elected. Not a stable genius, as he would say. Nope, a retard. Yeah, again, he looks directly at the sun during a solar eclipse. No sunglasses. Again, you could have UV protection sunglasses and look up at okay, fine. All right, that's not that bad. But just immediately looking right up at the sun, no fucking sun, just like that dumb. Oh. Well, okay, what a retard. Yep. Immediately he took, like at his age, he did some permanent damage to his vision instantly. Within seconds. Because the sun quite literally, burns holes into your retina. Like the second that thing is planted on your eyeball, it is burning a hole. You understand that? Your eyeball is like a magnifying glass. And this retard looks up at the sun. Fucking Christ. So, you know, he just does, like, constantly just shows how stupid he is. Listen, man, it's pretty basic. There's a lot of people that really don't understand and don't know that he's an idiot. And I watched an entire interview that was painted to make Donald Trump look like a really smart person. And part of the problem was the interview was being done by a guy that technically has a genius level IQ, but he's actually like one of those people that's fucking stupid. Like he's like one of those geniuses where he has like technically a genius level IQ, but he's a like literal fucking retard. He's like he thinks he's right about everything. He's one of these guys where he's very justified in the things that he believes in. And there's nothing wrong with that, except the fact that again, if you can't critically think about it, if you're just coming back to the same point in your brain, you didn't critically think about that thing, you're not considering the new information. So there's just, with politics, it creates this psychological inability to be able to self-reflect any longer. You just lately, because of Donald Trump, and endlessly making people think everything's fake news, they just literally will never self-reflect on that first piece of information that they're giving, that anything that he says is true or factual, And anyway, the point is, this genius was sitting in there, talking about all his experiences in life and stuff like that. And then it got to the part about Donald Trump, and like everything that he said about Trump that like was a reason why he would support him was wrong. It was just things that Trump doesn't do. Again, things that like I can sit here and endlessly, if I were in the room, I could have easily just said, well, that's actually just wrong. He doesn't do this, and this is why. And like I could easily just tell him and debate it. But that's not what the interviewer was doing. The whole point was, the whole thing was like, I think like millions of views, and the whole thing was like obviously to make Trump look really good. And the whole point was, this guy is a retard. He's not really a genius. He just maybe took a test one time, had a genius level IQ, and now everybody's always treated him this way. And yeah, he has some accomplishments and stuff, but you have to understand that that's just determination. I mean, anybody can accomplish things in life and do stuff if they have money to do it and resources to do it. So the point is, this guy was a genius level IQ, so people just invested and threw money at him. It's that basic. If you understand that, you will understand it's that basic. People wanted to invest in him, so it's that simple. People would invest in me too if YouTube wasn't sitting here making me look a certain way. That's the point. They have always done this to make me look a certain way to all of these investors. So that's why defamation of character. That's why I'm doing this. Because that's what YouTube has done. They are supposed to make you look better. They should sit here and help your channel and not hurt it. The whole point is, I'm the one just on here telling the truth. For X amount of time, at the beginning, they did shit. They did jack fucking shit. All this really bad stuff's going on. Porn links being spammed in my chat. Malicious porn links where if somebody clicked on it, it would just get them a virus instantly. This is being spammed in my chat. Very, very shortly after starting streaming, where like people were just nasty on this platform. And I was calling it out. I was like, what the f... And the whole point was that they covered that up. They really went out of their way to try to cover that up. We went back later to the chats later to look it up. They removed the chat. They disabled the chat. I had to re-enable that. And the chats weren't there anymore, obviously, and yada yada yada. You get the picture. Like they sat there. Like, obviously, if they get deleted, that's one thing, but there was some times where I'm just talking about like text and stuff like that still should have been there. Where I was like, at the time I was still new to the thing, and I didn't I was sort of kind of removing them at the time. And so like it was just me talking about that. And the whole point was that somebody shouldn't be able to type a malicious like link to a pornographic, like that's terrible, and then spam it in chat. And so that's what was happening. Like shortly, like as I started to even get a little bit of trending on this platform, that happened. So like anytime I've ever had any type of real traffic, some sort of scam is going on. So again, I just always rationalize again that, it's exactly what we see. The streamers that are rich hang out on this platform, scams small channels like you and me for content, and then nosedive us, and then, you know, like, essentially cancel us. And, you know, it's the big channels. You know, the ones that are still on the platform, they don't really seem to offer much and have much to offer, yet they're there, hanging out, and somehow they're still gaining subscribers and stuff like that, and you kind of wonder what the fuck and how. I think we all know. I think we all know. So, in reality, YouTube should not allow this to happen, yes. But remember, it's still just the streamer. Remember, I made the streamer look really kind of guilty just then. And I pointed out something really kind of eye-opening. And so, while it didn't stop right away, the whole point is as they sort of kind of made it a little bit trolly, they played with it. They went with it a little bit. So that's what you're supposed to recognize. They used that. So recognize that really all that happened was I called it for what it was. Yes, the platform should enable, but in reality, a streamer is doing this. A content creator is doing this. That's reality. All this. And the bitrate. And the bitrate's how they're doing it. That's the point. So that's why it's concerning when Asmongold and stuff like that, like a while back, he didn't know what it was. That's concerning. Because that means his mods and anybody that's around him can use the fact that he has no fucking clue what that is. Yet bitrate is literally the reason, like it's this is like a really basic fucking number you got to pay attention to on your stream. So like I just like to not know, and that's fine. Like not everybody necessarily knows everything about this stuff, but the point is not to be mean. The point is I feel bad. Like somebody clearly was doing something they shouldn't be doing. Where he didn't know what that was? What? How could he have been a streamer that long and nobody told him? Huh? So that's the concerning thing. Cause he doesn't forget stuff like I do. He really doesn't. So it's that's just the concerning thing. Like if somebody told him, he would have just known. He would have been like, oh yeah, that's why that does that. So I'm just saying, like that was eye-opening. And the whole point is like what else is going on? And who else is using the platform and not taking this seriously, where this is happening right under your nose. You could be investigating all this right now on this platform, and instead you're wasting your time with all this other shit. And you're wondering who's restreaming your fucking stream? And and this is what you're wondering. You're wondering who's restreaming your stream. Gee, I wonder. Massive bots, DDoSing, trolls, Jesus, the stuff that's happening to me. Fucking Christ. Like this is the point. Like the concern is that these people that could help things, they're so entitled that they know everything and you can't tell them anything. You just can't. You cannot tell. They won't listen. So, you know, even if you show them, it's like, oh, look, well, that's this, you know, like they're very sure of themselves, you know. But you know, it's pretty plain as day when you see this. Like, it's, I mean, come on, man. Like, this is, what else are you gonna fucking call this? We all know what this is. Anybody that knows IT should know what this is. You should. I hope you should. I hope, for the love of God, you better know what this is. If you don't, oh God. I think we're in trouble if you don't know what this means. You work in IT. I think that might be the issue. If you work in IT and you don't know what this means, I think that might be part of the issue. I think that just might be part of the issue. Like, you should be able to look at this and immediately understand why all of this is just so fucking wrong. Like, just none of this. All right, I should get going. Like I said, I may not even be able to sleep, but I should get going. I should get off here, and oh man, I appreciate you guys trying to give me views, but you know, you see what's happening. It doesn't mean stop. I just you know, you see what's happening. It's, you know, I appreciate it, but it sucks. You know, they're literally just doing this. So, anyway, thank you. Thanks for watching, hearing me out here. Yeah, I guess that's it. I guess I don't really have anything else. So I'm gonna try to get off and probably won't be able to sleep. See ya.